Welcome in, everyone. Hi there, I'm Chef Jay Tay. Happy to see all of you back. How you doing today? Happy Friday to you. End of the week. It's the weekend, everyone. Time to relax. Where do we start? Let's make some coffee. Happy to see you, Muminik. Welcome, John Ray. Got the GoPro back working, at least for today. Oh, double grind. Boo. Welcome, Alex. It's going to be a cozy one. Although I'm going to be a little adventurous with the creme brulee. Welcome, Will. Happy Friday. What's happening? Oh well. I'm gonna steam my custards before refrigerating them. Deli container, Alex, I would assume. Well, there's square ones. I can't really get that one out easy. I have one that I use for keeping spare change in. But yeah, I'm relatively sure. I mean, they're typically standard sizes, 8, 16, 32 ounce plastic containers. Cutting glass was good. It took a while. Like, I only got, like, I'm only like 2/3 through cleaning and foiling the glass. If you look at the photo in the Discord, I've taken a photo after each stream. I've now got all of the logo done, with the knives done, and that's all done with the black foil, so that I can do a black outline on that. And then the rest of it is getting copper foil, because it's going to get a copper patina put on it. And I'm like maybe halfway through the rest of it, so third left to go. Yes, El Capitano. I've started a new channel, cutting_glass, here on Twitch. On one hand, Alex, yeah, it's sort of crazy that they didn't understand what you're talking about. On the other hand, it's probably not at all what they deal with anymore. Like, I could imagine, 10, 15 years ago, they would have all sorts of disposables at a restaurant supply. But so much of that has gone to Amazon packing supply houses, like the commercial packing suppliers. Thank you, El Capitano. Welcome, Splout. Thank you all for joining me tonight, folks. Cheers. Yeah, Alex, that's another thing, that the knowledge of staff seems to be at an all-time low in my lifetime and getting worse. Like, I remember my parents not being big on Sears because, like, they felt like the service there was horrible. I mean, it was a catalog company. They probably were trying to, like, even back then, be more like a web company. And yeah, I don't think anywhere I've seen it has gotten better in my lifetime. Maybe for a brief moment with Borders Books. This is hearsay. I don't know if it's for sure true. Actually, I don't know if that's the proper definition of hearsay or not. I don't know if this is for sure true, but it is something my friend drilled into my head when I was younger. Friend, acquaintance, yeah. The original Borders books, which was right next to University of Michigan, was started with a staff of nothing but doctorates. You know, education doctorates, not necessarily medical. Let's see here. And for a while there, like, it sort of like spurred, like, both Barnes and Noble and Borders came out, and for a little while there was decent bookstores out there. It's been a long time since I've been to either, so I have no clue how they're doing these days. I've heard that Barnes and Noble's making a little bit of a return. They're stripping their coffee out of their places. They're making a real focus on being a bookstore, probably consolidating the space they need. Where do I start with cooking tonight? Let's make our custards. I need to get some water boiling for that first. So I'm going to start up my pasta pot. We're not going to completely fill it with water, though. We want it to eventually come to a boil. So I'm just going to go maybe 4 cups, 6 cups. We'll save you for other stuff later. Awesome, Alex. That makes, I mean, your local market matters. It was then he realized he needs another bowl. No, we're going to keep you. Hi, Dragon. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the egg whites from tonight. Has anyone tried Dang That's Good soda? I mentioned this in the Discord earlier. Nice, El Capitano. Breakfast in the morning, yeah, strong contender. These are getting a whip up along with... Ooh. What type do I use? I'm definitely using one of these. Might as well throw this in now. Well, anyways, Dang That's Good, I think, was the name of the soda, is a butterscotch root beer. And I'm still thinking that this is something that could be good, that combination, but they just way overdid things. Like, you could tell that there was like a root beer background to it and gave that little bit of that, like, almost like a foamy, like, flavor there is to a root beer. But it was just so overwhelmingly butterscotch and so overwhelmingly sweet. Like, did not need to be that sweet. Alright, so I'm splitting open a vanilla bean here. And then I'm going to scrape it. I like butterscotch better than caramel, but caramel is easier and cheaper. I'm still dithering on, do I use regular sugar or powdered for this? Because I want it to dissolve as much as possible, easily as possible. I'm going to risk it in this. Actually, no, we need to have that too. I'm doing a really small batch of creme brulee. I'm trying to make it so that I can just do 2 of these. I have sort of the traditional low oval sized ramekins. Why you always want to boil when I don't need you immediately? And not when I need you? Yeah, but all of you were. And I can see it because it's right there. I mean, it's in the peripheral, but I can see it. I'm watching it. It's not blowing up. Big convenience of streaming. You can see what's going on in the stove from standing here. This heavy cream that I have bought, they do cream top on their milks and their heavy creams and all of that, and so I'm shaking in the cream that's likely settled and solidified at the top. Little couple of granules of salt there. And I messed up here. I need to get this top one off of here. Fork. I was using you for. This is still probably too much batter for what I want to do. There is a slight slope downward towards the edge on this pan. This is the high point of the pan in the center, so I'm putting them out to the side. At least for transporting, it'll be better that way. And yeah, this is still pretty well settled at the bottom with the sugar. I think this might be our answer. And this ain't gonna work for that either. It's an excuse to bring out the emulsion whisk again. I guess there was still chunks of vanilla. We back to a nice heat over here. Let's give that a moment. We're about to go to a break. I'm cleaning this, but I'm probably going to want to re-whisk this once more before I put them in. This is still a pretty deep pour. I'm doing lamb in my shepherd's pie tonight. I felt that was more fitting than beef. After all, I mean, I could have maybe gone out on a limb and try and find sheep somewhere, but the request was shepherd's pie, and I shall do a shepherd's pie. I've done cottage pie several times before. I still haven't decided what container I'm going to put all of this in, but it's probably going to be decided upon how much stew I have before we add the potato. Are we done with that ad yet? Let's see what's going on over here. Pre-roll should be completely off, and so it is my assumption that should be off. Ah, sorry. Beepy noises. Alright, so since we are all back, let's go ahead and give this one last, make sure the sugar hasn't settled at all. It's all still combined, which it does actually seem like it stayed combined, surprisingly. And give them both a fill. Yeah, I probably could have done a quarter recipe there. Do I have another 2 ramekins hidden back here? I thought I had a 4 set gifted me originally. I just don't know what I've done with all of them. Let's see, I don't want to steam those. Don't want to steam that. They can steam you. You've got a friend too, don't you? We're doing this custards and getting them put away because they need to be chilled before I can put sugar on them and melt the sugar on top of them. So I'm basically doing the whole shepherd's pie after finishing our custards. If it wasn't for the fact that I need the custards to chill and hang out, I don't normally do, but I could be doing a lot more multitasking. Speaking of multitasking. Nice, burnt sugar fan. Hey, Skeleton. Welcome, welcome. Someone coming in later is going to look at that and probably think that's dessert. You got to clean that up. It's vanilla. I don't really know how long I should be steaming these. On the other hand, I know that steaming is a rather gentle process, and I'm not going to massively overcook them this way. I can overcook them, but I mean, it's obvious we've gotten to the point that the whole thing has reheated. I think I'm waiting for the glass on top to get a little more clear. There's still a couple of vanilla chunks in this. Let's look what we got. Those look 80-90% of the way. How's it going? I'm steaming creme brulees. Cream brews? I'm unsure what a cream brews would be, other than maybe describing a very mild or Yeah, I'm unsure what a cream bruise would be, captions. Google, get on that. Relatively certain my captions are Google generated. They're partially locally generated too. But for anyone just joining in, what we have here is a combination of egg yolks, heavy cream, real vanilla, pinch of salt, quarter cup of sugar between this and what's in the steamer already. I think I'm going to go with that. Yeah, they've set. They have set. They are jiggly. Wiggle, wiggle. It's a going. Hi, Soph. I'm steaming custards. Let's see if we can't slide these a little more central. Oh, noes, I forgot to restore the top. It's still steaming pretty well. Just pull a little bit of the light water off of them. I don't know, I think that's a strand from the actual vanilla bean. You're reminding me, bird. Them birds been thirsty. They just drain in that feeder like about every 5-6 days. I mean, they're just sucking that thing dry. Probably has nothing at all to do with the 90-degree temperature. Probably peak childbirthing time. Yeah. Wiggle, wiggle. They're wiggling less now that they're cooling. I haven't looked at I have 2 feeders. One I can't really see very well. It's right on my front doorstep right up there. The other one's right outside the window here. And I know they have been drinking from that one, but that one they tend to ignore a lot more compared to this one. It's not nearly as red. It's not nearly as noticeable, I think is the reason. Almost done with my coffee. Give them about 1 more minute here. I'm giving them about the same amount of time. I think they were about the same amount of liquid, but these were definitely thinner and wider. Those are smaller but deeper. Alright, let's see what we got. Those. Ooh, those are a little more. Let's give those a little bit longer. Apparently people now think putting cheese in the potatoes is sort of like a shepherd's pie thing. When, as far as I knew, I was taught, it's never been a thing. Maybe a little bit like for flavor in with the potatoes, but the primary thing that you're doing with shepherd's pie potatoes is you're mixing egg yolks. I got even more egg yolk use tonight. You're mixing egg yolks in there to give it a little bit of brighter color and stiffen it up a little bit. And some people even brush it with egg yolk before it goes in the oven. Some people do a bunch of a base of mashed potatoes and then decorate it with a piping bag, which I have poorly done in the past. I have discovered later in life I have gotten worse and worse at my pastry bag decorating abilities the older I get. I used to be pretty damn good at some of the baking and decorating and icing, and we had some tests in the Culinary Institute. Even taking the culinary path, we had to do, a fair amount of decorating work. Had to make roses, had to make all the leaves and all that sort of stuff. Had to learn how to write happy birthday with chocolate, a bunch of patterns in chocolate. They'd send us home with, if I remember correctly, it was like a pattern printed out on a cake round. And then you would have to put plastic wrap on the cake round. And then using the piping chocolate, the really small pipettes of chocolate, you do designs on that. But since it's on plastic, you can't, just like a cake, you can't pick it up and move it. It's going to show. So if you ever want to practice, that's an easy way to do it. And then if you mess up, you can just keep going until you fill the plastic up, squeeze it all together back into a ball, and start a new fresh piece of plastic. Sorry, eco-friendly people. Along that same vein, if you're looking for easy ways to learn and train on the culinary side, if you just want to practice your knife skills and you're not wanting to, like, especially right now with price of things to what people are used to being a bit of a shock factor, buy a sack of potatoes. Buy a sack of onions. Make mashed potatoes with things. Make potato soup. Make French onion soup. You can sit there and cut for days. For next to nothing to you. Alright, we've given this another 5. Those are still... Well, so let's give those another 2 minutes. Sugar and back looking nicely melted. We'll just let that be. I'll put a lid on that and forget about it. Well, I was going to put a lid on it and forget about it until everything fell over. So my mashed potatoes tonight, I will be adding 2 yolks, a bit of sour cream, and a bit of butter. But I'm not going to do any piping fancy stuff. And like I said earlier, I don't even know what container I'm going to use to put it in. I might put it in my brown round thing that I haven't used in ages. I might put it in an 8x8. I might put it in a hotel pan. I might put it in my oval crock. The second set's taken a minute. Like, these have set up pretty well now. Like, I think these are going to be pretty good. That's another thing I could probably just about live on if I can change up the ingredients or the garnishes at least going with it. Good potato soup. It's got to have some thickness to it. It's got to have a good stock background to it. You know, it's got to have some depth. And then you let me play around with a few garnishes. We can do peppers one day. We can do herbs another day. We can do what have you. All sorts of options. Pretty high up on the list of things that I could just live off. You know, it's right up there with chicken and rice. Though chicken and rice I could even be simpler with. Like, I could pretty much just live on chicken and rice. Maybe a little green onion, if I had to rough it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay, those are set. Ooh. trying to pull some of the water that's on top of this from the steaming action. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Okay, this all goes into the refrigerator to cool down. Hopefully I've got somewhere that I can put this. There we go. We got them away. Got them away. Now, on to Dina. Stripping an onion of its outer layers here. Yeah, thinking about it, my chicken and rice would be considerably more expensive, though, compared to potato soup. Considering it's not just, just chicken and rice is going to be more expensive than quality stock and potatoes. But I also sort of want either a velouté or a bechamel with that chicken and rice, which is not incredibly expensive, but it is in comparison. How am I cutting onions for this project tonight? Song got me wondering, did we send another spaceship up today? When was that? I know it was like this afternoon at some point, but I don't... And it sounds like it was successful, so the SpaceX stock market is not going to collapse, even though SpaceX is now trading below its opening price. Which sort of makes sense. Like I said that earlier. Like, I was curious, like, what is the gain here for investing in SpaceX at this point? They've proven most of that they're going to do. I mean, Mars is a long shot for them anytime in the near future, especially politically. I don't see it being anything but like an accounting play, how cheaply we can launch these rockets. Hey, Musk. Got some big boy local carrots. Good stuff. Uh-oh. Bacon versus chocolate war. Onion reader. Bit of cooking oil in there with that water. It may sizzle up nicely as that goes. I don't know. Depends on if that oil touches the water very much. Got what looks like some relatively lean lamb meat here. Oh, it's Temple Creek. Local, too. I already got that dirty "where are you" spatula. I've already got our custards for the creme brulees done in the refrigerator cooling for anyone joining in just now. And I've since started in on the prep for our shepherd's pie. I can't remember anything. Nice. Nice unscramble. Garlic powder. Cayenne. Cumin. Onion powder. Celery salt. Regular pepper. MSG. Worcestershire will last in my bottle, apparently. Potato cutting. What's everyone's plans for the weekend? If I can convince myself to get off my butt tomorrow, I'm going antiquing. I say antiquing, but semi-thrifting. Getting some of that wildfire smoke, Soph? Baseball, huh? What's your team? Yeah, we want a few more than that. Tigers. I have no idea where baseball teams are these days. I have no idea if the Giants are any good these days. I wore a Rockies cap for a long time as a kid. At least I remember it as a long time. As a kid, that could have been like 6 months. Tigers have been good in recent years too, haven't they? How are they doing this year? We'll start getting these cooking. Alright, now we'll get a flame going on both of these. Get these taters cooking. We can start in on cooking our veg and cutting the rest of our veg. I have it here staring me in the face, and so I'm going to use some of this cabbage. I wish I appreciated jellies and jams and marmalades more than I do. Like, I don't really... They're probably a great hack to actually reducing the amount of sugar you have by just having a little bit of peak sugar. But, I don't know, I just can't... Don't get too hot, pan. I need a couple of more seconds chopping. Good work days are good. I didn't get as far as I wanted to today, but I made good progress at the same time. I spent like 50 minutes or so just doing the pleats on the hat. Like a third of the stream was just me cleaning and wrapping the smallest pieces of glass of the whole piece. Some of them I think I could have made a little smaller. Other ones I think are just like perfectly as small as they can be. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job of breaking that up. The pleats into the hat, a whole bunch of small little pieces of glass. Ooh, ooh. I hear drink noises. Thank you for the sub, Dingleballs. Appreciate that. I'm gonna make boudin balls on Sunday. If I can figure out where I can buy boudin sausage. Might be able to get it at Oliver's. Might have to go to somewhere a little more exotic. Like one of the couple of butcher shops in the county. Which is amazing, we have a couple of butcher shops in this county. Going in with our cabbage and our onions. Now we got a decent cook on these onions. Did I say onion? Cabbage and carrot in with the onions. Now the real question is, do I add green beans? canned green beans, not like fresh spring snappy green peas. Green beans, not rather than peas. Peas I prefer frozen. Green beans yes, I prefer them fresh, but you could also do corn. But we're getting up there on the bulk scale. Hey, it's that Graham word. It's gone and left the overlay on again. Peppers and celery going in. I'll have to show it to you a bit later in the stream when I go to deal with the creme brulees again. But the small ramekin ones, you can't see on the other ones because they're white porcelain. But the small glass ones, it's sort of interesting how the vanilla settled about 80% of the way up. There's like this ring of vanilla. Not quite at the top, just a little ways down. You keep prepping rice and forgetting from pressure cooker and leaving it all night. Yeah. Rice is one of the most likely things or possible things to make you sick. Should make your rice. I'm saying Do what I say, not what I do. But you should never really save rice. I mean, as far as food is concerned, it's on the cheaper end of things that you can ruin. And since it's a starch, it retains heat very well. So it stays in the temperature danger zone where all sorts of bacteria and nasty stuff can grow for longer. Unless you spread it out very thinly onto a sheet pan before putting it into the fridge. That said, I throw rice in the refrigerator pretty often. It's one of those hard ones to follow because it only takes once. And you'll either remember for the rest of your... Well, you will remember for the rest of your life. In some cases, for what's left of it. It's not a how long it's in the fridge, it's basic food safety. You basically have to keep food out of the temperature range between roughly 40 and 140, 150. You want to, when you're reheating things, you want to reheat them higher than that, but you can hold them at 140. And so the longer it sits in that time, that temperature range, the more you have bacteria, viruses, pathogens, all sorts of stuff doing nasty stuff. Because in many cases, it's not the actual bacteria or the actual pathogens that are making you sick. It's their poo or whatever they're producing. And so if you have enough of them, you allow them to grow, be enough of them, and they're putting off enough poo, then they make you sick. And rice, with its ability to be insulated, unless you're spreading it out real thin, it's going to retain that heat for too long and stay warm in that refrigerator and not get down to a cold temperature. So we're starting our... I've basically built a roux in there. I've added some butter. We've mixed in some flour. Beef bouillon, even though we're doing this with lamb. If you got lamb bouillon, use the lamb bouillon. Tostones. I can't remember what tostones are, but the word just sounds so good. Let our lamb back in. I think we need a touch more flour and a bit more liquid. It's not thickened enough as I want. Do I have any more of those? I was thinking of using the last of those too. I do have a few more of those. I'm going to throw the last of the pickled cherry peppers in there. Hot cherry peppers. Oh, plantains. Nah. I feel like plantains are something that can be amazing, but I have never had them be amazing. I'm saving pickling liquid. I feel like this could use a bit more salt. I basically salted the onions and the lamb, so there hasn't been a ton of salt added in here for the amount that's there. And I'm also going to add a touch of soy. Gouda! I thought about adding some Gouda cheese to the potatoes tonight. I know I was talking about cheese earlier. I just don't think it's a cheese thing. I'm just giving this a little bit of cook through. Make sure we get that roux nicely cooked through. I guess we can skip that though, because we're going to have to cook this in the oven. But speaking of the oven, I should probably start heating that up. I think I'm going to turn the heat off on the stew. I am going to add my cut green beans. And my green onions. Might be a bit too much for this. Yeah, I think it's too much for this. It's a bit too much for this one, too. I think we're going with it, though. Uh-oh. They being little pests tonight. I know you love them, but they're being little pests tonight. If you didn't love them, I don't think you'd spend all that time sitting around centers, museums. Oh, so he's supposed to be all tuckered out, too. I just realized. Is that phrase a reference to the Tucker Automobile Company? Ooh. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Hi, everyone. I'm Chef Jay Tay, if you haven't met me before. Cook here on Twitch 4 nights a week. Thank you so much for the raid dinner with Mom. What were we up to tonight? What was dinner tonight? I'm working on shepherd's pie and creme brulee. I've got my custards finished. I steamed my custards. First time trying to steam custards. And have them chilling in the fridge. You're looking on the main part of the screen at my base of my shepherd's pie, which is lamb meat with green beans, cherry peppers, green pepper, or sweet peppers, carrot, celery, onion. What else did I throw on it? Cabbage, green onion, and then I did a basic brew with a little beef gravy, a little beef consomme, beef bouillon. And so there's a little bit of beef flavor in with the juice, but it's primarily lamb. And then above that, where you can't really see, I have potatoes bubbling. I was waiting on our oven to heat up. Oh, we're still waiting on the oven to heat up. Navajo fry bread. That's a good time. Those are some... I really like Navajo fry bread. And I like fried tacos along that line. But they're a little like onion rings. Like 1, 2, 3 of them are good. Then the oil hits you. But otherwise, they're absolutely delicious. And I absolutely want that first second. Let's take a little bit of a moisturized break. So right now we're waiting on oven to come to temp, and we're giving the time for the oven to come up to temp to cook the potatoes up there above the stew. Stew base is going to go in here, and taters on top. I'm going to do, let's get that going. That's a good thing to get started here. Need to get all the goodness together for the taters. So I'll throw some butter. Come on, you can light. There we go. Some half and half. Did I say thank you for the raid? Thank you for the raid. Mr. Forgetful over here. You'll work for this. Here, chat, hold on to this for me. Add in a bit of sour cream. Got my whisk dirty doing the custards earlier. So, giving that a rinse off here. Tempering the melted butter and half into the sour cream and egg yolk. Be right back, chat. Gotta go run and grab something back here. I need my old man grabber. The strainer fell down in the back of the Lazy Susan corner. Go put this back away. Sort of. Alright, let's strain some taters. I don't see anything in that. Salt, pepper on the taters. MSG. And then our tempered eggs, dairy, butter, sour cream, deliciousness. No cheese though. Alright, so we got all that mixed up. Now let's add our stew in the bowl. Trying to hold this cast iron up with like my hand in a broken wrist position. Not that my wrist is broken, but I was not holding it from a place of strength. By broken wrist, I mean more like limp-wristed. It was pulling my hand down. Not the way I should be holding that pan. Alright, so we've got our stew layer. Now, my main trick for this is that you're very rarely going to get this on here completely cleanly without mixing a little of the stew in with your mash. And so I like creating both working in state and areas to cover, but I also make a basic, simple layer while somehow not mixing anything. But anyways, we have that base layer there now, sort of insulating the rest from any other potatoes. So now we can just fill. Sort of like cheese and vanilla. I don't think there is such a thing as too much mashed potato. That's some decent taters. You notice how that looks almost nicely piled there on the vertical stream? It's not quite nicely piled. It's actually quite the difference you're going to see here. It's a little bit like a teenager coming out of the shower, putting their hair in a spike. That said, you can put too much vanilla extract in something, but usually by that point you're pretty drunk. Alright, so I think we dump this in the oven now. Now I've cleaned up the sides. And because I don't want to really trust the handle with that loaded up, I'm just going to put it on a pan. $350 oven, just to let it sit, make everything happy, maybe get a light crust on those taters. So I think I'm going to take a 10-minute breather here, and then I'm going to come back. We'll do the topping on our creme brulee, and then we'll see how the shepherd's pie turns out. So I'll see all of you back here in 10 minutes.
Everybody needs energy-packed Sunbeam bread. Yes, it's all aboard for fun in the park, but Junior hasn't got energy enough for fun. He'd sure like to ride that horse. Hey, what's this? An energy-packed Sunbeam sandwich. You bet every delicious slice of Sunbeam bread sure does pack a big energy wallop. There's nothing like Sunbeam Energy to help you stay on the beam. Now, look at them go. On Sunbeam Energy, they...
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the raid there. I didn't hear the announcement. Thank you so much for the raid, everyone. Welcome in. Sorry. Thank you so much, Sphinxter. Greatly appreciate the raid. What were we up to tonight? Welcome in. Hi, I am Chef Jay Tay. I cook here 4 nights a week on Twitch, food and drink. And I also do stained glass art on my second channel, cutting_glass. I hope you're all having a lovely evening. Sorry for the ad break. What were we up to tonight? What were we doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for the check-ins. Appreciate the follow. I have shepherd's pie in the oven. I have custards in the fridge ready. I was just stepping out just as you raided to take a couple-minute break and cool down, let the kitchen cool down a little bit, and then come back and finish up on everything. sharing our foodie pics and watching foodie vids on... Nice. What was the peak? I fully intend to, but I'm going to give you a minute or two since you thankfully shared your community with me. Working on doing a stained glass piece to replace my sign back here. Ended strong watching Uncle Roger's always entertaining viewing. Nice. I'm not familiar with cake cooking. There are so many names in the cooking world that I'm just not familiar with anymore now. Like the last 5 years or so, it seems, which is really strange because I've been streaming that whole time. It just seems like a fair number of them just completely... Part of it's I'm not a TikTok person, so I know a large number of the recent big names in food have been TikTok stars. But it seems like I've completely missed the YouTube thing with all of that too. And anyways, I'm going to take a couple minute break here. I am going to be back we got 6.5 minutes. We got stuff in the oven. We got stuff in the fridge. I'm going to go cool down and hang out. I will see you back when I get back.
Everybody needs energy-packed Sunbeam bread. Yes, it's all aboard for fun in the park, but Junior hasn't got energy enough for fun. He'd sure like to ride that horse. Hey, what's this? An energy-packed Sunbeam sandwich. You bet every delicious slice of Sunbeam bread sure does pack a big energy wallop. There's nothing like Sunbeam Energy to help you stay on the beam. Now, look at them go. On Sunbeam Energy, they sure do enjoy life. Everybody needs the kind of real zip and zing pep that delicious Sunbeam bread gives you. Yes, stay on the beam with energy-packed Sunbeam bread. All day long, eat Sunbeam bread and renew energy as you burn it up. Eat delicious Sunbeam bread.
Satisfying, cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment right. Fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
To brighten any moment.
Make it coffee.
To enjoy that fresh aroma.
Make it often.
Make it up fresh each time in a clean container. And for full flavor,
Make it right.
and here's how. For each cup of fresh drawn water, use one approved measure of your favorite coffee. That's all, one approved measure per cup.
Satisfying cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment bright. Fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee. Make it often. Make it right.
If you've ever been to Venice, you remember the gondolas and the picturesque waterways. And you remember the food, too. Superb food, prepared with that very special Italian touch. The same special Italian touch that Chef Boyardee sauce with meat can give to your meals over here. Because the recipe for this tangy sauce has been brought over from Italy by this famous Italian chef. Chef Boyardee sauce with meat is made from juicy, sun-ripened tomatoes and tender quality beef, simmered in a spicy sauce that makes a rice and cheese loaf, a casserole, or a spaghetti dish a real Italian-style dish. So when you'd like to add that special Italian touch to your dinner, do it with Chef Boyardee sauce with meat. Try Chef Boyardee sauce with mushrooms, too. Both are prepared from the chef's own Italian recipe.
Lexus machine wines are full of flavor.
Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food. Or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
Here's an amazing free offer for everyone who's overweight. Even if you've tried other methods and failed, you can still lose ugly fat fast. Yes, thousands can tell you that calometric control is the only safe, sure, effective way to reduce. Now, this package contains the Wonder 10-Day Diet that gives you 3 delicious meals a day, plus a bedtime snack, even includes a jog for your willpower. Yet you take only 3 calometric tablets a day. And here's the sensational free offer. A 30-day supply of wonderful calometric tablets. A certified $3.50 value when you buy the regular calometric way to weight control. You save $3.50. Now, that's a $7 value for only $3.50. A 50% saving. And how can you get your free bottle of calometric tablets? Well, just send in this calometric box top with your name and address. Your druggist will give you a postage-paid envelope already addressed to the calometric company. Now, don't lose hope. Lose weight. Get calometric reducing formula at your drugstore. Send the box top in the free postage-paid envelope. Get your $3.50 bottle of calometric tablets free. Don't wait. Act now.
Right, Aloni, the San Francisco treat. Right, Aloni, everybody's got the beat. Started out where cable cars play this song.
Now tried at home before very long.
Right, Aloni, the San Francisco treat.
From San Francisco, famous for food, comes Rice-A-Roni, the exciting new side dish. Here at last is a welcome a change from potatoes. Now you can serve Rice-A-Roni, a delicious side dish with meat, chicken, or fish. And you make Rice-A-Roni in minutes. Everything's right in the box. A packet of soup base, rice, and vermicelli that you brown in butter. Add the special herb-flavored broth, and in minutes, Rice-A-Roni. Fluffy, fragrant. A wonderful change from potatoes.
Right, Aloni, the San Francisco treat.
Hello, may I come in? I am Chef Boyardee. Perhaps you have seen my picture on Chef Boyardee products at your grocer's. Today I want to tell you about a wonderful dinner for 3. A dinner that only costs about 15 cents a serving. It's my own Chef Boyardee spaghetti dinner with meat sauce or mushroom sauce. It all comes in 1 carton. A full half pound of tender, quick cooking spaghetti, 10 full ounces of rich, tasty sauce, and to top it off, a whole can of zippy grated cheese. A wonderful food. So ask your grocer for Chef Boyardee spaghetti dinner with meat or mushroom sauce, won't you? And look for other Chef Boyardee's products. They're also delicious, they're also nourishing, and they help keep the cost of your meals down. Chef Boyardee's products are at best grocers.
Ask for Chef Boyardee.
I'm back. There's our music. There's our music. I'd be back. We warmed up here now, Pan. Cleaning and drying off my cast iron. So it's been in the oven for a minute. I think I am going to next do a little flame work. Alright, so we have our now chilled custards made from earlier. And you can actually see, like I was saying, it's almost like there's a ring of vanilla on these. Actually, I guess that wasn't very clear. There we go. You get this like ring of vanilla where it like settled about 80% of the way up. You would never see it in that. The vanilla in there, to be honest, it almost looks more like dirt than it does like vanilla. I don't like the way it looks. I'm sure it'll taste amazing, but I just don't like the way the vanilla looks. I don't want to heat shock the slate. I don't know how I'll react to that. Oh, hey, gotta turn the gas on for that to work. The light is catching that and making it look darker than it is. I'm only going to do the 2 for right now. The other 2 are going to do better with some plastic wrap right on top of them. I still haven't gotten the stomach up to try the rest of the jollof rice. Those Scotch bonnets tore up my intestines. My guts were not feeling good. Yeah. Alright, how long's it been in the oven? Probably at least a good 15-20. Let's take a look at our shepherd's pie. I am unsure what to do with that. The top has a nice light crust to it, but it has no browning to it at all. Oh yeah, we got a nice crust. Nice crust. Crusty. I think I'm just gonna go with it. Let's get rid of the ugly baking pan. Sip of water. See, not a ton of color. I'm just gonna blacken it. I'm not gonna get good browning from that. It's fun to try. I think we set up... Oh, you're probably cooled down enough. We can get rid of you now. This thing has this nice handle to it, but I don't want to trust it when it's absolutely loaded. I mean, it's just pottery. Stress it too much, it's just gonna snap. All the photos. Gotta get all the photos. Now we're breaking into it. I guess I'll clean one. Now for the moment that everyone's really looking for when you're doing creme brulee. No big cracks. Sad. But it is nicely cracked. Got crunch. Nice smooth custard. Very nice smooth custard. Looks like the vanilla settled in this one as well. There are shards of sugar glass going on there. Crystallized sugar. Leave the other one for later, till after I've eaten this deliciousness. Welcome, Tiki. So we got our vanilla creme brulee, and then we've got our shepherd's pie with lamb, mashed taters with egg and sour cream and butter and half and half and all sorts of veggies. We're going to an ad right now, but I think I'm going to start wrapping things up here. We're going to be looking for somewhere to hang out to tonight. Be back on Sunday, both with Cutting Glass and with Chef Jay Tay. 10 to 1 in the morning Pacific time, or 1 to 4 if you're on the East Coast in the US. Doing Cutting Glass, foiling up hopefully the rest of the background that's going to be replacing this one behind me. And then later on in the evening, we're going to be doing Louisiana with boudin balls, or meatballs but made from boudin sausage. Boudin, I'm not 100% on the pronunciation. And then shrimp etouffee with rice. Both delicious dishes. And then after Sunday, I am taking a little bit of time off from streaming. I am going to be taking the next 2 streams, so Monday and Wednesday, off next week, so that I can rework my whole stream setup here. I want to add vertical video to my streaming. I also want to add kick to my streaming. I want to change up my streaming settings as far as what I'm sending out and where. So yeah, that's going to take me a couple of days to rework and redo all the scenes and add the vertical versions of all of the scenes. We'll come back, and then next Friday we're going to be doing another themed dinner by They Can See Me. Jalapeno poppers and steak tacos. Good stuff, good stuff. Going to be doing tacos quite a bit in upcoming. We got another taco night early next month. All right, everyone. I wish you all a wonderful evening. One last chance here to see on the rating. Ooh, let's go hang out with Blake Harrington. Blake Harrington's rated me a couple times in recent. He is doing his lovely movie nights. He's watching Gun Crazy, a 1950 black and white video, sort of MSTK 3000 style. I hope you all have a lovely evening, and see you back here on Sunday. Good night.